Let's start this greenhouse update with this trellis. You can see that it's changed a little bit. It fell down while I was away. It's the second time that happened. I just didn't have a good enough connection at the top there. So we put it up, zip tied it this time, so it'll take a little bit of pressure off, and everything's back up and normal. We noticed that everything had gotten overgrown for sure. 2 weeks of no pruning will do that, and a little bit droopy there. So I'm thinking I've upped doubled the amount of water. So we're watering every 30 minutes, 1 minute in these bags here. Lots of cucumbers. We pricked a whole bunch of them yesterday. No beans in sight. Some purple ones down below, and I really have absolutely no idea what's going on here. That's definitely some kind of nutrient deficiency, but I've got a bloom formula in there, and I've added a CalMag, so I don't know what this is. Maybe it's disease, maybe it's maybe not enough sun. Same thing with a lot of these things. The tomatoes have not really ripened. They're still pretty green. Some are starting to turn orange. And I think that's probably just due to the shade cloth that I have there was a 50%. So I pulled it back halfway so we get full sun on all these tomatoes. So hopefully they'll ripen up a little bit quicker. Some ones that we do have that are ripening are these little cherries, and they're tiny. For some reason, I don't know why they're so tiny. But they're pretty sweet. And so they've ripened up quite a bit. They were exposed in indirect sunlight, even if it was only 55%. So hopefully we'll see a big push this week to get these guys to ripen up. So we'll try. Lots of pollination happening too. I think the CalMag that I added really made a difference in the amount of successful pollinations that we were getting. So there must have been some pollinators in here while we were away, which is great. So looking good now. This was just crazy before, nice and thinned out. Before we get to that, so the shade cloth needs to be tied tighter, looks like, obviously. So the peppers have come along, grew up. They're standing about 4 feet tall now, and we've got quite a bit of fruits. Quite a little bit of peppers growing on here. See, some good sized ones back there. Well, not huge, but at least they're growing. Happy to see that. So these are the ones that I put in originally, and they've all bolted totally, and I'm trying to let them go to seed. Or yeah, it's gonna flower here hopefully, so I can pull the seeds off of those. The new this trough, 1, 2, 3, and 4 were all planted before I left. They ran out of nutrients probably within the first week, and we're just living on water. So now I've gone through, I've totally topped up and got everything back to the proper ECs and pH, and we are good to go, good to grow. This little experiment here kind of worked, kind of didn't work. The plants sort of fell over, so just by putting them in there with the plugs. So I think we'll try that with the Oasis cubes next time. Probably the better way to go there. This basil is doing pretty well. Should be a lot bigger by now. I'll just prune that top off and get the split there. Anyway, these are another basil plant here, and it looks like it's about to go to flower. So not a big deal. I'll take this off and we'll make keep some basil there, make some pesto potentially for the tomatoes when they've ripened. So the celery is huge. It's not really thick, so I imagine we could probably eat it. I'm going to try some anyway here tonight for dinner, but it's long. I don't know what to do with celery. Maybe it doesn't love NFT. All these suckers that I pulled off have all really gone crazy with the roots. Like, look at this. Look at that. That's just a sucker that was chucked in there. Now the pH and the EC isn't right for the tomatoes, but again, just an experiment to see what could happen. These ones are actually flowering, and I don't know if we'll get tomatoes off them or not, but we'll see. It's just for fun. Over here, the watermelons, we've got a couple of decent sized guys now. They were pretty small, maybe the size of a golf ball there before I left, or a small baseball, smaller, tennis ball, yeah, tennis ball. These ones, I'm not sure if they're ready to go. Pretty firm. This isn't dried up yet, and this guy here, his Houston's still good. So these guys are still going to grow. I've got about 7 or 8. Again, with the nutrient deficiency, I can't quite tell. I don't know what this is. I've got pretty good nutrients, a pretty good pH in that bin over there. Could be needing of a change. So anyway, Kai's yelling at me clearly, so I will sign off. TTFN.